a young white supremacist at the Stormfront Summit Sept. 30, 2017, in Crossville. 10. Decided to wear a cap and bandana so his picture wouldn't be recognizable on social media. Crossville. 10. White supremacists in town to conduct their annual summit faced cancelled reservations, a change of venue and a passel of protesters who turned out for the once secret meeting. The owner of a local restaurant, the Beef and Barrel, said no to Stormfront activists after they reserved space for a meet and greet Friday evening. Under a different name, the group eventually reconvened at Shoney's, which doesn't take reservations. Then organizers changed its Saturday conference location from a restaurant at Cumberland Mountain State Park to the park's recreation lodge up the hill. "Hello, Master Race," protester Chris Irwin yelled over a megaphone. "You wanted to keep this a secret, Nazis. And then you did something stupid and you put it in a public park so we could come." Some attending the summit made obscene gestures. Others, like Thomas Robb of Harrison, Ark, the Ku Klux Klan's national director, bowed and waved. At least 9 white supremacist gatherings have been held at Tennessee State Park since about 2011. The Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation does not ask the reason a group reserves a venue. Before noon, about 30 people turned out to protest the summit. A few more people appeared to be attending the meeting. Seeing that the summit would continue, protesters began planning a picnic to spend the day there. The problem is what they try to plan at these events is hiding the swastikas, hiding the pointy hats. The new KKK is anti-NAFTA and is pro-steel worker and tries to give a populist message, Irwin said. In Shreveport, La. About 20 Confederate Monument supporters and a fluctuating crowd of onlookers showed up for the first of 2 days of rallies Saturday. Founder Rex Dukes of Keithville, La. The Gulf Coast Patriot Network, a collection of Southern anti-government militia and patriot groups, said more were supposed to be there Sunday. In Crossville, police kept a parking lot of space between protesters and Stormfront attendees. Park rangers stood in front of doors to the recreational lodge and escorted protesters to bathrooms so the groups would not come in contact. The Stormfront Summit changed locations because organizers expected a greater turnout than the 36 or so who entered the lodge while protesters were outside, said Billy Roper, a neo-Nazi from Russellville, Ark, who organized the event. "We've been coming to Crossville for 3 years," said white nationalist Tom Pierce, a former Knox County Commission candidate in Tennessee who received 7% of the vote in his run for office. "There's been no issues and no one has ever banned us. So what? There's hundreds of other restaurants." Roper said he designed the summit to attract prospective members, deciding a week before to waive the fee to attend. Then, Traditionalist Worker Party flyers started popping up around the University of Tennessee campus. Around noon, 3 people emerged from Park Lodge in all black, wearing masks and paramilitary-style vests, to retrieve black wooden shield sandbag bags, like those they carried in Charlottesville, VA, at the violent Unite the Right rally in mid-August. Several people known to have engaged in violence in Charlottesville, including Matthew Heimbach of the Traditionalist Workers' Party, came to the conference. "It tells you exactly what they're planning," Irwin said. "They brought shields. These are the people." The name of Roper's blog is Shield Wall Network. The only way they could be more clear about what they're doing is to spray paint swastikas. Despite the prevalence of swastika and Schutzstaffel patches on the garb of younger attendees and the group's black-clad, masked security, Roper, Robb and other seniors in the group wearing suits and ties insisted they were not Nazis. They kept a tight hand on the younger attendees and those who did not appear to be ranking members. Whether the event was racist depended on how people defined racism, Roper said. Rob denied the Ku Klux Klan's historic association with lynchings and other hate crimes the group has committed against Black, Jewish, lesbian, gay, bisexual and transgender people. "I'm not a racist. I believe all people have a right to love their racial identity," Rob said. Protesters didn't have the permit that the Tennessee Department of Environment and Conservation requires, Crossville police and park rangers said, but officers allowed them to stay anyway. "After all, it's National Public Lands Day," one park ranger said. "This is what that's all about." Contributing. Nick Wooten. The Shreveport Times. Follow Brittany Crocker on Twitter, @BritCrocker.